Hey everyone! Are you enjoying your audio life? Today, I'll be giving you a complete guide on advanced ways to use the WiiM remote and presets. Watch this, and you'll have the ultimate streaming setup in no time. Let's dive right in.
Step 1. Handy features of the WiiM remote. The WiiM voice remote is super handy for quick control, but did you know it has some hidden features? 1. Double-click preset buttons. The 4 number buttons call up presets, but double-clicking them lets you control up to 8 presets. Double-click button 1 for preset 5, button 2 for preset 6, button 3 for preset 7, and button 4 for preset 8. I explained presets in detail in our Part 3 WiiM Home App tutorial video. I'll leave a link in the description, so check it out if you're interested. 2. Long press the play button. Press and hold the play button for about 3 seconds to enter Bluetooth pairing mode. A lot of people might not know this. Give it a try when pairing your phone to a WiiM device for the first time. To exit pairing mode, just long press the play button again. Also, if you press and hold the mic button and say connect or connect to Bluetooth, it will connect to your paired phone. Say disconnect and it will drop the Bluetooth connection. 3. Voice control. While holding the mic button on the remote, you can control various things with your voice. Voice control mainly falls into 3 categories: playback control, source control, and device control. Playback commands include play, stop, and skip, but you can do some more advanced stuff too. Say start over to go back to the beginning of the current track. Fast forward 30 seconds, skips ahead in a track or list. Similarly, rewind 30 seconds goes back. To adjust the volume, you can say, set volume to 50% or turn down volume by 10%. You normally can only adjust in 10% increments here, but using Alexa routines lets you tweak it by 1%. Simply put, if you create a routine like this in the Alexa app and use the command set there, you can specify the volume down to 1%. Like and dislike commands work when playing Amazon Music via Alexa. Say like, and it adds the track to your My Likes playlist. Source commands are used to play music on Alexa-supported streaming services, like play Taylor Swift on Spotify. Device commands are supposedly for switching inputs, but they didn't work in my setup. The only thing that worked was the Bluetooth connection. Step 2. Preset buttons on WiiM Pro and Pro Plus. WiiM Pro and WiiM Pro Plus have preset buttons on their front panels. Pressing this button cycles to the next preset. For example, if you press it while preset 1 is playing, preset 2 will play. It cycles all the way from 1 to 12. However, if the cache is cleared, like when switching inputs, it will just play the last played preset. Step 3. Using the preset button as a sleep timer. Have you ever wanted to listen to healing music at a low volume for just an hour in bed before falling asleep? You can easily do that with a single press of the preset button on your WiiM remote. Open the preset edit screen in the WiiM app, register your favorite music, and set the volume and duration. Then, just press the preset button. If you go to bed at the same time every day, you can also use the alarm feature to set a sleep timer. Choose whichever you prefer. Step 4. Integrating the WiiM API into presets. Now, things might get a little technical. WiiM offers an HTTP API that lets you control the device externally. By adding the API request URL to Open Network Stream, you can execute device controls that weren't possible with standard presets. Here, I'll briefly show you how to group 2 WiiM devices using a preset button. For detailed steps, please read the WiiM forum post linked in the description. Preset creation steps. 1. Set a static IP address for the WiiM device. Open your router settings app and assign a static IP to your WiiM device. You can also do this in the network status screen of the WiiM app. Tap Configure IP, switch to Manual, and specify the IP address. 2. Copy the IP address of the device you want to control. Copy the IP shown on the network status screen in the device settings. You'll need 2 IPs, one for the group leader and one for the follower. 3. Create a request URL. Paste the 2 IPs into the request URL like this. Blue is the follower and red is the leader. Make sure there are no spaces in the URL. 4. Create a thumbnail image. This isn't strictly necessary, but it's a good idea to create a clear icon image using generative AI. 5. Add the request URL to Open Network Stream. Add your completed URL to Open Network Stream. 6. Add it to the preset. Register this as a preset. You can also edit the preset if needed. Now, just press the preset button on the WiiM remote. The two WiiM devices will link up for group playback. You can also ungroup them with a preset button. As I mentioned before, the input sound profile beta firmware for the WiiM Ultra already has a feature to control groups via presets. Until this feature is officially rolled out to all devices, this workaround might be worth trying. There are plenty of other things you can do with the WiiM HTTP API, so if you're curious, I highly recommend checking out the forums or asking questions there. I'll put the request URL we used today in the description. Step 5. Integrating the WiiM API into alarms. You can also use the request URLs you've added to Open Network Stream in your alarms. For example, if you use the sleep timer in step 3 to change the volume to 30%, it will still be at 30% the next morning. If you want it to automatically revert to 50%, you can use an alarm to make that happen. First, create a request URL that sets the volume to 50% and add it to Open Network Stream. Next, open the alarm settings. Tap the Music section, and under Open Network Stream, select the 50 icon you just added. Then, set the duration to 1 minute. Alarms are designed to play a small chime if the streaming music fails to play, so you need to set it to stop after 1 minute. Finally, set the alarm time and save. When the time comes, the volume will automatically switch to 50% like this. You might be thinking, why not just change the volume to 50% directly in the alarm settings? Keep in mind that the volume set in an alarm only applies to that specific alarm. Step 6. Using alarms to auto-switch inputs. WiiM devices have a handy auto-sensing feature that switches inputs automatically when you play a source. Unfortunately, on HDMI-equipped models like the WiiM Amp and WiiM Ultra, auto-switching from HDMI to optical doesn't work. So, let's use an alarm to switch it automatically. First, create a request URL that switches the input to optical and add it to Open Network Stream. Next, set this URL in your alarm settings. Since the input isn't Wi-Fi, the alarm chime won't sound, but it's a good idea to set the duration to 1 minute. Set the alarm time and save. Now, when the time comes, the input will automatically switch from HDMI to optical. This might be exactly what you need if you want to watch TV at night and listen to a CD the next morning.
Thanks for watching. If this helped, please like and subscribe. Wishing you the ultimate musical experience. See you next time. Peace.